morning. This is Jegatha. I am very happy to welcome you to my podcast, Eco Fashion with Jegatha. And today's guest is none other than Mrs. Namrata. To talk more about her, she is a wonderful person, a great human being. And apart from that, her areas of interest expand across a wide spectrum, right from art, natural dyeing, theater, and whatnot. It's an honor and privilege to have her in our podcast. And she is a co founder of this amazing venture, Color Ashram. Good morning, ma'am. It's very nice to have you. You're the first women entrepreneur for our podcast here, and welcome.
Thank you. Very happy for you to have this session because I think it's important for people to hear on these topics. It's quite rare right now. Yeah.
To start out with the first segment, we would like to hear from you the personal journey and vision in natural dyeing that you've had. What would be the inspiration behind natural dyes? What first inspired you to pursue natural dyeing as a career? And what has kept you passionate over the years?
So definitely it was not a plan. I did not know I would end up here.
Mhm.
It just like in life, I think when you look back, one thing leads to another.
Okay.
And that's how this happened. So I was just very kind of demotivated by the consumerism culture. It never made sense to me, even as a young person who got married very early.
Okay.
And then I think I just thought that, why are we just consuming so much and it doesn't make sense. And I would actually get very nauseous to see the big size markets that we had back then. I'm talking about 96.
Oh, okay.
And 98. So, and back then we would go to holidays in Thailand and shop, and all of those things were there. People would go out to shop, to other countries and all of that. But it just didn't make sense to me. And I wanted to, I think social impact has always been very attractive to me, even as a child.
Okay.
So I wanted to work in the social impact segment. So I joined an NGO, then I worked in theater. I did multiple things, and when I had to be financially independent, then I had to do a business.
Okay.
And I didn't feel like doing business with anything, rather. Buying and selling anything did not make sense to me. So I was interested in permaculture. I was interested in, alternative education, all of these. So I just happened to, my mother happened to meet my co-founder now and my partner in life, Arun, at that time. And he was running his natural dye brand.
Okay.
And when I got to know about this thing, that there is something called natural dyes and there's something called chemicals in our clothes.
Okay.
Then I really, I was really inspired, and I thought that, okay, my whole, energy came from, okay, this person is doing something so good. I need to join forces and help him to spread this to people. I think with that feeling, I joined my work because I want to magnify. So I was not into creating my own brand or something or doing whatever. I just wanted to align myself with the movement that was already on.
Okay.
And back then, like in 2008, 10, I'm talking about when I first got to know about it. That time, natural dyes was really not known, a word. And I'm from Kolkata, especially in Kolkata, I had never heard that word.
Okay.
So it was also very exciting because I like to take up new challenges. I don't like to walk the path that everybody's already walked. I like to find new paths and new ways of doing things.
Okay.
So it was exciting. It was challenging. It was quite up my sleeve because it was completely falling under social impact. And then I got to know about ecology. I think nobody talks about ecology. Back then when I was growing up, I think today's children definitely hear sustainability lot more than what I heard back growing up,
Okay.
So I think ecology was not on the mind, but I think I was always into yoga, alternative things and all. So this really felt like something very close and inspiring, For me, I think I never wanted to have different boxes in life. Like one box work, which can be anything, and then the other box you do your own spirituality, and then other box you do something meaningful. All of this fun. For me, I like the whole life should be aligned with it.
Okay.
So Doing this work actually made my life stretch from my personal spiritual aspirations to living a sustainable life to working in sustainability. It all falls under the same thing.
Very
So
beautiful.
that I did not want to have different boxes. So having an aligned way of living and working, not changing hats all the time
Okay.
was very for me. So
Okay.
I think this seamless thing of having a very circular kind of a life where everything is joint and it's not separate cut off boxes. That I mean,
Okay.
unknowing happened for me.
Okay.
So that's my thing, and then I started exploring. So first, I just wanted to take this Arun's work to other people.
Okay.
Then I figured a way of how people would connect. So I saw that fashion and clothes is something that speaks to people a lot.
Okay.
So I started making clothes and I started wearing them, especially. I really enjoyed. And since 2012, I think I have just shifted completely to natural dyeing. Today, day of my life, I'm wearing natural dyed clothing only.
Wow, that's great.
It's possible to wear 365 days in a year natural dyed clothing. I
Yeah.
mean, except my sports jacket or some winter wear and things which are not yet available, I think every day I'm just wearing natural dyed clothing. So that's been very, very organic, I think, growth for me. One thing led to another. Like there was a need for money, so I looked into a business. When I looked into a business, I found a social business. Then when I started the business, I found the need for spreading awareness. Like it just led one thing to the other. Yeah.
Very beautiful. It sounds like it just all fell in place. We'll move on to the next question. Milestones in sustainability. What achievements in your journey with Color Ashram Foundation and Biome Conscious Fashion are you particularly proud of?
I think in Biome, when I started the journey, I used to do a lot of collaboration with artists. So
Oh,
I have always been a practitioner of art, theater, dance, music, all those things.
yeah.
So, and I find that medium is very powerful to communicate. Like, when we say statistics only, that, this many liters of water is polluted, we should do this and we should do that, it is still statistics. I think how humans move and they change or they get impacted is by emotion
Okay.
along with intelligence.
Mm.
So only dry intelligence just becomes like figures on a newspaper, which we hear every day, and we're not moved anymore about it with it. So for me, using art as a medium to communicate, whether it is storytelling through clothes, whether it is a theater piece or collaborating with music artists and all of that, was always at the back of my mind that, okay, I need to take this message to people.
Okay.
The idea was that nobody had heard about natural dyeing. Natural dyeing is not happening in the industry. So there's no way you have grown up listening or hearing or seeing it. So how do you introduce a new thing to people?
Okay.
That was my whole idea. And for that, I felt like people need to have muscle memory. We need to do some workshops. We need to create art through, which people can understand. So at the back of my mind, I always wanted to use art. So sometimes I would collaborate with a batik artist or with the illustrator or with a musician. So I think mixing different streams of art practices with my work I'm really, really proud of that. Yeah, which brought a lot of roundedness in the whole approach, and for people to understand and get linked with it. That is one.
Okay.
And I think second one is I think myself wearing natural dye clothing and carrying it with, because I really used to enjoy and it became a part of myself. So people when they saw me wearing something, they're like, "Can you make me this?"
Wow.
So I think, but this was not a strategy. It was just something I liked doing. But it happened to be a very big. So I became a brand ambassador for my own brand without realizing, which was
Nice.
a very big thing. Even today, or even back then, I think when I used to go to parties, also I would wear natural dye clothing, and everybody would be surprised at how can I pull off something like natural dye in these situations, in a party, in this and that, and everything.
Okay.
So I think being an example
Okay.
and showing it to people how it can be done was a very big achievement, I feel.
Okay.
And third thing I would say is really consistency. I
Okay.
think from the time I started till today, I have only spoken about natural dyeing and I've only, made clothes or whatever. I stuck to one subject. So I think people want to see consistency for them to register something. So I'm not talking about fashion or natural dyes also, I would say. I am talking about some awareness about what it does to water, why we need to be conscious in our fashion and all of that. So
Okay.
that consistency I'm very proud of. I have been able to keep my expenses very low. I have done always organic marketing. I have brought my costs down so that I don't have to compromise on the ethics of my work, and that helped me stay sustainable in business. I was not never looking for big profit or something. I just wanted my business to cover the cost of running business.
Okay.
And for that, I think I've used extremely creative solutions of collaboration, of doing different things, and looking at a very all-rounded perspective, like not just doing clothes, sometimes doing workshops, experiences, different kind of things.
Okay. Great.
So I've had a very wide canvas to play. I
Okay.
have not grown vertically, I would say, as a brand. I
Mm-hmm.
have not like made a brand which has like 100 pieces of some design or something, not even sometimes third or fourth piece also.
Okay.
But what I've been able to do is I've been able to stretch horizontally a lot
Okay.
and do multiple things to show the variety. I have been a good example for people to see, okay, this is something that is possible and this has survived for 10 years. We need brands to be there for many years so that the confidence will build in it.
I have a few questions about what you just said. Like when
Please.
people gave good response to the party wear,
Yes.
sustainable fabrics that you were in, like how was it like in terms of conversion? Like were they interested to get it done for their own party wear? Like how was the response?
I think fashion is such an overcrowded space,
Okay.
overcrowded. So I think my friends and the people who were inspired, who saw me wear things, for one time they would always come and say, okay, make me something. And, they wanted to wear it. But I think soon they would move on to the other things which were, available in the market. It's just too much of bombarding in fashion field.
Got it.
So you can do only this much by design and thing, and by being a personality, you can show people what is possible. But after that, for them to continue, you can't do anything much. The people have to make a choice. We need designers to make good clothes. They can help people to switch.
Okay.
So I think good design is always a very, very important part of conversion. Yeah.
Nice, very beautifully said. And when it comes to evolution of purpose, how has your mission evolved since founding Color Ashram and Biome Conscious Fashion?
I think I started with making clothes for people. First, I started selling fabrics and it didn't work. Fabrics they are so subtle and they are so, earthy. And in middle of all of these, people don't understand. But when you convert it into a product, I think the making of product is a very, very important gap in natural dye.
Okay.
Everything can convert when the product is in front of people.
Okay.
So that was one thing, changing from fabric to making products, doing stitching was a big, I think, evolution.
Okay.
And then when I was doing that, I felt more the need to connect to people. And again, people were buying clothes because of the visual appeal that I look good in this.
Okay.
But what is it doing to the environment or to your body is not important, right? I mean, we become deaf after that. We just very, very visually, motivated in fashion. Even if things are not comfortable to our skin, we will still wear it if it makes us look whatever.
Yes.
So I found that explaining people and connecting to the inner, because I believe that everybody inside wants to do the right thing. Everyone inside wants to make the right choices. Everyone inside do not want to poison water. Everyone inside do want to wear something healthy and do want to work with something which will not harm the lives of workers and everything. But I think the story has not been told. This emotion has not been conveyed. And as I said, there's just so much bombarding that these voices are very soft and they're not really coming out. We are living in an age of hyper information, so it's difficult.
Okay.
And so I wanted to personally connect to people, and I thought that if I have my own brand, I can only my first responsibility is to sell my clothes so that I can sustain.
Okay.
And that makes me very small in the way that if you have your own child, can you actually take care of other children? I don't think so. Your focus is when your children grows up and then you have more time in your hand, then you can do some other things for other children. So I think I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to have my own brand only, and because I really enjoyed talking to people and helping them see more designers to see that this is possible, because one brand can't do anything. We need many, many people to do, and many people can be brands, but not everybody can be a teacher.
Okay.
So I think I found my passion in
Wow.
teaching,
Okay.
in conveying,
Okay.
in, mentoring people, in nurturing people. I mean, I would actually, in my business also, I found I gave a lot of time in communicating and exploring with artists and people and clients and all those things. So I said that, okay, I mean, and my business was getting hampered because you need to be very shrewd and focused to your business of selling, right?
Okay.
Business is not a philanthropic thing, right? It is more of a thing that you have to be very focused about what you want to say.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use seduction. I didn't want to use influence. I didn't want to brainwash people. I didn't want any of those things. What I really wanted to do was connect to the intelligence of people, their heart, their core, their soul, which probably understands this journey.
Yes.
So when I would do workshops earlier, also meditation and just closing your eyes and coming to your center of who you are and why you're living on this planet was a very important thing I used in my workshops earlier a lot.
Okay.
So I miss that now. In fact, I mean, after opening Color Ashram, I've been so busy.
Okay.
But yeah, that was one thing when I was small. I used to do this a lot.
Okay.
So then I thought that, okay, biome I didn't want to shut because I love showing the confidence in this fabric and making clothes. So I would only do made to order and few
Okay.
things. But my journey with Arun started with Color Ashram. So both of us co-founded because he has worked on a technology which is worked for 15, 20 years now. And he needs someone to take this to people. Because again, the innovator, the people who do the dyeing, they're not the people who can teach. They're doing their creation. So he's a creator, and I was trying to be a designer. So I left those two things, and I became the person who spread this and nurture it into the society. That's how Color Ashram was born. So I think my evolution from being a person who loves fashion, being a person who loves clothes and loves nature, to making clothes and then becoming a person who nurtures brands has been very organic and evolutionary. And even now, I feel like I'm a very small part of a big machinery. I think I can only make a small difference in my lifetime, but it will be carried on, I hope. And I will be a part which can probably, like a gear, which can, run this machinery, and something will happen automatically.
So coming to the next segment, it is about innovation and environmental impact. Technological advances in dyeing. How do you balance traditional dyeing techniques with modern innovations to stay environmentally friendly?
I think this is a very important question, because when you tell people to do something good for the environment, it's unfair to tell people to go backwards in time, to go back to the time where the processes were very long.
Yeah.
Before so natural dyeing was prevalent before industrial revolution. After industrial revolution, everything has changed, right? So you can't tell people to go back to that process now in this world. That's not fair, and it won't work also. Like, it won't sustain. People won't make money also if they do it that way, and it will become an exotic handicraft which only few people wear and buy. But it will not be an ecological solution, because the pollution is not caused by handicraft industry. It is caused by big, massive industry who make tons of clothes, tons and tons of clothes. So fast fashion and so many things. I mean, in no way we should promote fast fashion with sustainability at all. That is a complete no.
Okay.
But yes, I think mechanizing in industry is here to stay. We cannot just stop industries. So looking at natural dyeing staying as a handicraft is actually not the way we can move forward. It has to go in industry because a handicraft industry, let's say if it is polluting X amount of water, how much do they make? Industries may be doing, I don't know, I have no capacity to put the figure, but 1000x maybe, or 1 million x to compare to handicraft.
Yeah.
So that is where the pollution is happening. If we don't find a solution for this segment, only doing it in handicraft will not help.
Yeah.
Secondly, anything made by hand is always expensive. It can't be cheap.
Yeah.
When you do natural dyeing in handicraft, it is always going to be expensive. That's the reason why handicraft people have stopped doing natural dyeing, because what they sell for, the people want to buy cheaper still.
Yes, yes.
But industry can actually make natural dyeing cheap.
Mhm.
When you dye 10 meters, the cost of your 1 meter, and when you dye 100 meters, there's a difference. Industry can bring the cost down. Industry can actually bring natural dye to the floor.
Okay.
And industry, we already have industry in place. It is not going to go away. So
Okay.
even if we say we will not do industrial natural dyeing, you are saying that I am not going to do anything about pollution. So it's really about pollution and the content and the amount of water which is getting polluted by the textile industry.
Yeah.
So I think innovation is a must if we are looking at pollution. If you are looking at only handicraft, we can let natural dye stay in handicraft industry. We don't need to innovate. It can be an exotic thing. Very few people who have money will be able to buy it, right? But to make it a mass product and to affect the water pollution, we have to look at innovation.
Okay.
And I think that both things have their places.
Yes.
What beautiful craft can be done by hand, let's say by kalamkari, matani pachedi, or any craft hand painted, that has its own market. It's not competing with something that you make with block or screen or in a machine print. But so I think there is the sense of competition, and this is feels like very it doesn't let this segment grow. But I feel there is enough for everybody to survive. There is no need for this sense of that,
Okay.
you're taking away my market share.
Okay.
I think the market is very open.
Got it.
So we need to, as much as traditional processes are very important, and they can be they should be registered because they are like the wisdom which is carrying forward. But I think doing them in a time and energy and the money which is available today, which is viable today, and innovating it to the industrial application is extremely important.
Okay.
And I'm only saying this with respect to pollution level,
Got
which
it.
industries cause. So I think I'm not I'm not, I would not call myself a lover of natural dye as a craft. I love so many crafts for that matter, but I think my love for natural dye comes from the fact that it can replace a whole process which comes from petroleum.
Yeah.
And it can replace the color in our clothes, and it can handle pollution. So I think I find myself very, very ecologically driven in terms of natural dye.
Okay.
And spiritually driven in that way, because it does not harm people around us, animals and everything, and environment as well, than just a craft.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
for me, beauty of, if anything is not sustainable to the environment, its beauty doesn't make sense to me at all.
Okay. Beauty with sense is what you're looking for.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to look at doing these things in a bigger way, in an innovative way, so that it's viable, so that people will wear it. They will not just make swatches and do workshops and keep it as a craft and a research project. No, it has to come in our wardrobes. If you see the natural dyers, how many of them are wearing natural dye every day? They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yes.
Even, I mean, best of natural dyes, they are wearing chemical dye clothes, but they are teaching natural dyeing.
Okay.
Which means what? That it is still not, because it's not available in the market, right? It's not easily. That's what I dream of. That
Yes.
everybody is able to wear natural dye as well.
Yeah, absolutely. First thing, at least the people who make it, they should be able to wear. I have a follow-up question for you, what you just shared. When it comes to this industrialized natural dyeing process, there are few manufacturers who have already put up their dyeing setup, which is in alignment with the chemically made dyes. So, with their existing setup, will it be possible for them to integrate natural dyeing, or there should be some changes that has to be made?
Yeah, no. Luckily, it is possible because
Wow.
we have done it.
Okay.
It's possible to do in the same setup. You don't have to change anything
Nice.
except the mindset and the training,
Wow.
which is very important.
Okay.
And also mindset of your consumers. I think mindset of the whole team and all of that. So it is possible because I think being an Indian, we have this very unique aspect of jugaad, as you say, that is, with whatever we have, we know how to make things. So if you go to, I mean, I've also last year we went to Milan at the this big expo, which was this, what is it called? ITMA, which is a
Okay.
textile fair. It's a huge fair which happens once in 4 years.
Okay.
And we saw in one hall, we saw one machine that someone had specially made for natural dyeing.
Okay.
Only one machine.
Okay.
And there were huge halls of,
Yeah.
other things and whatever.
Okay.
So I think I see that, people do in Western countries, especially, they would make another thing for another whatever thing. But I think in India, we have a way of doing the things that we have around. So I think being an Indian is kind of that benefit where you look at what you have and what you can make best of it. So
Okay.
Arun is actually my partner who's innovated the natural dye processes. He has done it on the same machine that do chemical dyeing.
Beautiful. And how
So
about printing? It could
printing
be
also.
similar
It
way.
could be same. It can be done on rotary printing and screen block everything.
Wow.
But digital printing, we've not been able to replace yet.
Yeah.
Because that ink is very, very fine nozzle. So our plant dyes are big particles. They can't be refined to a particular extent. So besides digital printing, I think we can replace dyes everywhere. And I think this is just one person who's trying to do something. The idea is that people are inspired, because if there is some incentive in the field, many people should come in and innovate. Like it is not one person is too small to do innovate this thing. Like everybody, if they get excited about this, I
Yeah.
think we will have very interesting innovations.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The next question here we have is about combating water pollution. Could you share more about how Color Ashram's natural dyes help combat water pollution and why this is such a key focus for you?
Oh yeah, because this is a focus where it all started actually.
Okay.
So my partner was in Ahmedabad, and there's a lot of pollution there with water. There is a reverse water boring which happens. There is throwing it in the river. There is a major Ahmedabad is a very, very polluting place in terms of dyes and water.
Oh, okay.
So I think for my partner Arun, this was a story starting point, and this was the story which got me hooked on to his work as well.
Okay.
Because had he only been an entrepreneur, I don't think I would have been excited.
Okay.
But knowing the story of how he connected to water
Yeah.
and how he took it on himself, that I want to keep the water clean. So what can I do? Okay, natural dyes can actually keep the water clean.
Yeah.
So that's how he approached the whole thing. So first thing is that natural dyes, it is possible to clean the water of natural dyes completely and to make it not harmful and then release it into the environment.
Okay.
Chemical dyes, it's not possible. It's always partially possible, and it is absolutely unviable because the amount of water to be treated. If chemical dye units start treating it, the cost of fabric will go extremely high. It will not be what it is right now.
Okay.
Right? So water pollution can be easily handled if you're doing natural dyeing.
Okay.
But in natural dyeing, if you start using heavy metal and chemical fixers and chemicals for pre and post processing, very heavy chemicals, then again it becomes very dirty as well.
Okay.
Which is the case right now. In Jaipur and all these places, the vegetable dyeing that you see is all done with chemicals, and it's very dirty. It's even bad than azo-free dyeing. The thing is that it's not that natural dye is good and chemical dyeing is bad. It depends on what ingredients you're using. If with natural dyeing you're using very toxic metals, that is also polluting.
Yes.
So we have to understand what is actually polluting.
Okay.
Heavy metal, very harmful chemicals, very complex chemicals, and fixers, and plastic based binders and all those things. So I think those are what are important. So I always tell my students as well, there is no debate between natural is good and all man-made is bad. That's a wrong way of looking at things. I think man-made things can also be sustainable.
Okay.
Biodegradable, and they are fine to use. So what we do here is we are not using heavy metals in Color Ashram.
Okay.
We are not using any things that will spoil water. So whatever we use as ingredient of our dye and process, we always check the content, what impact is happening on water. So water test is an important part of a whole thing. If the water gets affected, we will not do that process. That's our whole idea.
Got it.
So going backwards, like you take out your effluent and check what is happening there. Rather than saying that, oh, I don't want to touch this because this is man-made or this is natural. That's not the thing. The ultimate idea is how does it impact water? And I mean, With textiles, water is the main segment that gets polluted.
Yeah.
Air and soil, not so much. Like not as much as water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.